2, we are going to be talking about coordinate geometry. Okay, so what that means is we're basically doing geometry on the coordinate plane. Okay, so this first topic is for those people that maybe need a little quick reminder about like what is the coordinate plane and how do we plot points. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the 4 quadrants, right? The 4 quadrants are these 4 little spaces that's made when I have my axes that cross. So I believe this is quadrant 1, and we use Roman numerals, right? Quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4, okay? Now there's some other stuff that I already have put on here. This point right in the center where my axes cross, that's going to be called the origin, okay? And that is the point 0, 0. Excuse me. Also what's important is which is the x-axis and which is the y-axis. And you can see here that I've labeled this as that. Notice I said the positive x-axis. I'm really just talking about the right half of that horizontal line, okay, which means that this left half over here, that's the negative x-axis. Okay, and then similarly, this up here going up and down, that's the positive y-axis. So that means, sorry, going up, and then so that means that going down, that would be the negative y-axis. Okay? So now let's practice plotting some points. So as you can see here, the directions say to write the coordinates of each point that's plotted below, and I gave you a little hint that when we write coordinates, it's always the x comma the y, okay? So let's start with point A. Whenever we're labeling points in geometry, we're always going to put the capital letter of the point that we're labeling before the parentheses. So point A would be, well, to get up here to point A, I had to go left 4, and then I had to go up 4. So that means I went on the negative x-axis, negative 4, and I went up to the positive y, so that's a positive 4. Okay? Let's do a couple more together. Point B is down here. That means I went right 9, and then I went down. That looks like I was down. I always kind of like go over to see negative 8. So B is 9 because it was a positive to the right, and down was a negative, so that's a negative 8. All right? C, well, C, notice that's actually lying on my axis here, right? That's lying on the y-axis. So when I'm counting from the origin, that's always where we start when we're plotting points. Counting from the origin, I didn't move left or right, so that first x-coordinate is going to be a 0. But then I did go down. I went down 6, so it's going to be a negative 6. And maybe you remember from Algebra 1, that's actually called your y-intercept. Okay? Why don't you take a second and pause the video and try to write the coordinates of the rest of the points, D, E, F, and G. Alright, so I gave you the answers for D, E, F, and G there in orange. If you had trouble plotting any of these, make sure to ask your teacher. But the one that I want to talk about is point F. So point F, notice that also has a 0 coordinate because starting at the origin, I move left and right. I move 7 to the right, but I don't move up or down, and so that's where that 0 is coming from. Okay? All right, let's look at letter B. So letter B says plot the point G. Oh, no, it's already on there. That's not supposed to be on there. So plot the point G 9, 9. That means I've gone right 9, up 9, and I'm getting this point right here. I meant to delete that. I apologize. And then connect it to make the segment EG. So that's what we're going to start doing in this class. We're going to make a line segment, EG, with the endpoints E and G. Okay? And now C says plot the point H 2, negative 3. So I'm going to go, that means the x-coordinate is 2, and the y-coordinate is a negative 3. It's a positive 2, so I'm going right 2. It's a negative 3, so I'm going down 3. And I get this point here. Okay? Whenever we plot points, I always want to label it. That was point H, so I'm going to put a little H next to it. And then I need to create the segment AH, so I'm going to bring and connect the lines from A to H, and I have that segment there. Okay, so we're going to use these skills to actually solve and do geometry on the coordinate plane now.